In November of 2022, the Glazer family officially announced that they were commencing a process to explore strategic alternatives. And almost a year later on Christmas Eve, Manchester United fans maybe got the greatest Christmas present of all with the confirmation of Sir Jim Ratcliffe's 25% stake in Manchester United. Now, a new structure and Ineos taking over football operations definitely sounds good, but there are a lot of names being thrown out: Sir Dave Brailsford, Jean Claude-Blanc, Paul Mitchell, Dan Ashworth, but who really are the names behind Manchester United's new footballing structure? We're going to get into all of that right now. Now, obviously, the man behind all of this, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, he is the face of this new takeover, if you will, behind Manchester United. He's the man that went head-to-head with Sheikh Jassim and came out on top. He is the man who the Glazer family has accepted a 25% stake in the club. Now, if you're a fan of Manchester United, I'm sure you know everything about Sir Jim Ratcliffe already, but it's good to know the face behind all of this. It's definitely Sir Jim, and he is going to be the person who's going to make all the decisions as to who is going to be on board with this project, who is going to be behind this new footballing structure, this new sporting department. Now, the next person I want to talk about is Sir Dave Brailsford. Now, Sir Dave Brailsford is the director of sport at Ineos, and he really made his name in this sport industry with British cycling. He was really the man to transform British cycling into this, massive giant. He took them from winning 2 golds at Athens in 2004 to 8 golds in both Beijing in 2008 and London in 2012. He then transitioned over to Team Sky and oversaw 3 of his cyclists win the Tour de France. Shortly after that, Ineos came in and actually bought Team Sky and renamed them the Ineos Grenadiers, which is how Sir Dave Brailsford and Sir Jim Ratcliffe connected. This is also how Brailsford got his experience and connection to the footballing industry. Obviously, Ineos also owns other clubs, most famously Nice in Ligue 1 in France. Now Brailsford and Ratcliffe have several years of running sporting departments at football clubs, owning football clubs together in this partnership, and has been very successful, especially with Nice. Now, I really want to break down Brailsford's sporting philosophy, and it comes down to this concept of marginal gains. I'm going to read a quote from him really quick that kind of explains it. It says, the whole principle came from the idea that if you broke down everything you could think of that goes into riding a bike and then improved it by 1%, you will get a significant increase when you put them all together. So to put this in Manchester United terms, basically when you're thinking about taking Manchester United from where we are now to, back to the top of European football, that can seem like a daunting task. But if you took everything that's going to go into that, right? Obviously good recruitment, staff, infrastructure, facilities, and just improved all of that by 1%, it's going to be a lot more achievable than just thinking of this broad, very daunting task of taking Manchester United back to the top. I'm a really big fan of this, and it's something that I use, every day to achieve my goals, is just taking things day by day. What can I do today to improve? What can I do today to reach that goal? And when you just look at the broader goal, it can become really overwhelming and daunting. So I'm a big fan of this philosophy from Brailsford. Now, another man who has been very rumored to join this project at Manchester United is the CEO of Ineos, and Jean Claude-Blanc. Now, who is Jean Claude-Blanc? Jean Claude-Blanc is a French businessman who is most known for his work at Paris Saint-Germain and Juventus. He was a board member at Juventus before becoming their CEO, and his greatest achievement maybe was securing funding for their brand new stadium. After that, he then went to PSG, and, kind of the rest is history there. Won 50 trophies, 12 league titles with that partnership with Qatar there. PSG has become, one of the greatest lifestyle brands in sport, and then also a great footballing institution as well. So his work there definitely cannot be understated. After PSG, he then left to become the CEO of Inos Sport. And basically that involves overseeing the entire Ineos sporting portfolio. That concerns football, Formula 1, rugby, running, cycling, everything at Ineos right now. So I think a fair question to ask is, if he does join Manchester United, will this just add to his list of responsibilities, or is this going to be his main focus going forward at Ineos? So we've covered Sir Jim, we've covered the director of sport at Ineos and Sir Dave Brailsford, we've covered the CEO of Ineos Sport and Jean Claude-Blanc. Now that kind of leaves this hole here in terms of recruitment, in terms of a sporting director. And a couple reports have come out this week saying that United are targeting Dan Ashworth to be the sporting director and Paul Mitchell to be the head of recruitment at Manchester United. Now, this would be an incredible two-headed snake in terms of a recruiting and footballing department. Dan Ashworth made his name at Newcastle and Brighton, signing players like Alexander Isak, Moises Caicedo, and Alexis McAllister, along with many others. And Paul Mitchell is known for his work at Southampton, and then he moved on to Tottenham, and then probably most known for his work in kind of those glory days at Monaco in the early 2010s. And like I said before, this would be a very formidable partnership for me. These are two very smart people who clearly know what they're doing, have been proven in this industry, and I think what we need most right now at Manchester United is the players that we bring in. It needs to be smart decisions. We cannot be buying aging superstars like a Casemiro and paying him $350,000 a week to put up the performance that he's doing. We cannot be spending 100 million euros on Antony when he's a 20-30 million pound player. We need to be smart in this department. These are two very, very smart individuals when it comes to sporting and recruitment. And I thought this would be kind of fun to do. My guy Ethan Talks on Twitter, make sure you follow him if you don't yet. He's a great United account to follow. But he tweeted, "You are Paul Mitchell. You're recently appointed head of recruitment at Manchester United. You have 6 positions to vie for and a £250 million budget. The positions are right back, right center back, left center back, a hybrid 6'8", right wing, and a center forward." So I thought we'd go over it, kind of what my picks would be, and then you guys can let me know down in the comments what your picks would be as well. We're going to start with right back. My pick would be, I'm going to give you 2 options actually. For more of like a wing back attacking threat, I would go with Jeremy Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen. For more of a traditional right back and kind of give you everything, I would go with Alexander Ba from Benfica. He's also Danish, so him and Højlund might have a good connection there. At right center back, I'm going to go with Jared Braithwaite from Everton. Just been really impressed with him. I just think he's a beast at the back. At left center back, I'm going to go with Lenny Yoro, the young 18-year-old up at Ligue 1 in France. Just think he's a really, really special talent, and United never go for we always wait till these 18-year-olds blossom, go somewhere else, and then we have to buy them for 80 million. We could probably buy him for like 30-40 million right now, and I think he's a really, really special talent. I was really impressed with his performance against Paris Saint-Germain. Kind of really dealt with Mbappe really well, so I was really impressed with that. For my 6'8" hybrid, you know who I'm going with. There's no other choice here, in my opinion. Amadou Onana. This guy is built for Manchester United, in my opinion. This guy is built for the Premier League. His athleticism, I'm a sucker for tall and agile players, so I really just think Onana is the perfect player to slot next to Kobe Mainoo for the next decade. At right wing, I'm going to go with the player that we've been linked with the past couple days, in Michael Olise. I think he's a special talent, very, very, very silky, cutting in on that left foot, bending dangerous balls into the box, and also has a goal in him as well, as we saw unfortunately last year at Crystal Palace last year. But I think Olise is a special player, and would pair really well, in my opinion, with like a Jeremy Frimpong or overlapping right back. With him cutting on that inside, it really puts the opposing left back and left wing in really awkward positions. And at center forward, I'm going to go with a guy who is kind of taking the league by storm a little bit this season in Dominic Solanke at Bournemouth. I'm a huge fan of this guy's game, kind of just an all-around, kind of exactly what you want in a striker. Great hold-up play, great box instincts, good finisher, kind of all around what you want in a Premier League striker, and I think he would be a great complement to Højlund as well. So yeah, make sure you guys let me know down below the players that you would select for that kind of template. This has been a good breakdown on kind of where we are at as a club in terms of this new structure, these new faces, these new guys coming in that will hopefully be a great breath of fresh air for Manchester United in this new infrastructure and this new brain trust, and hopefully we can get some good players in, smart recruitment. I don't think it's too much to ask for. We're not asking for the world here as Manchester United fans. We just want smart people making smart decisions. That's it. All right, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff on your way out. Appreciate it. Peace.